To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is Reverend Sean Whittington's Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Reverend Sean, the Rev. Welcome to my haunted house, my very haunted house. Been quiet today because I have an earth angel coming on the show today. Have you ever met one of those? Well, you're about to. And you're going to love her. And she's in the green room, and I'll get to her as soon as I can. Let's get to the prayer urn. Deborah K. from Texas. Rev, I worry about everything, don't we all? Say a prayer for the faithful, the faithless, people at war, and the world in general. Deborah, what a beautiful request. And I most certainly will. For all of you out there, you know what, Deborah, you're not alone. I worry about a lot of things too. Um, everybody worries. Everybody that I talk to is worried about one thing or another. It's just a really worrisome time right now. I have an old saying, let go, let God, and in God's time, if it be His will. And if you're good with God, don't worry. Whatever happens is going to happen. And if you're good with God, you'll be okay. All right. I know a perfect prayer for everyone, and this will go for Deborah and for all of us. Okay. If you want to get any positive vibe from this, receive any love and light from this prayer, just reach out, touch your computer screen, close your eyes, bow your head while I pray it. And name of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit, amen. Most sweet Jesus, Redeemer of the human race, look down upon us humbly, prostrate before you. We are yours, and yours we wish to be. But to be more surely united with you, behold, each one of us freely consecrates himself today to your most sacred heart. Many indeed have never known you. Many, too, despising your precepts, have rejected you. Have mercy on them all, most merciful Jesus, and draw them to your sacred heart. Be king, O Lord, not only of the faithful who have never forsaken you, but also the prodigal children who have abandoned you. Grant that they may quickly return to their father's house, lest they die of wretchedness and hunger. Be king of those who are deceived by erroneous opinions, or whom discord keeps aloof, and call them back to the harbor of truth and the unity of faith, so that soon there may be but one flock and one shepherd. Grant, O Lord, to your church assurance of freedom and immunity from harm. Give tranquility of order to all nations. Make the earth resound from pole to pole with one cry. Praise to the divine heart that wrought our salvation. To it be glory and honor forever. Amen. There you go, Deborah. Hang in there. You know what? You didn't ask for this, Deborah, but I am going to do it anyway. Since this is for all of us, I'm gonna light us a big candle today. Do I have a big candle? Oh, I have a big candle. Okay. May the Holy Spirit enter and intervene in the lives of everyone within the sound of my voice and remain with them for the remainder of this journey and on to the next. Amen. That candle will burn for all of us until the candle is burned out. Wow, it's a big one, so it's going to burn for a while. After the show, I will put it in the room where all the other candles are burning. Okay, guys. The Paranormal Ministry mailbag. Boom. Steve G from California. Rev, what did you do on vacation in December and April? You were gone for a month both times from the shows. Well, I have a confession to make, Steve. Good question. I wasn't on vacation. I uh, I was out of town both times on business, and unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to discuss the project I worked on. But I will say this: amazing project. I worked with amazing people, and if you are a boots on the ground person who is actively involved in the field of paranormal research right now, of faith or not, you will never look at the paranormal field the same again. And that's all I can say at this time. But as soon as I'm able, as soon as I get word that I'm able to share this news with all of you, you'll be the first to know. But thank you, Steve, for the question. All righty. The reason why you guys all tuned in today. She's an old friend. It's been a long time since we've talked. Shame on me. She's an earth angel. She's a gifted psychic medium. She's an elite ParaHunter, radio, TV, and film personality. Just a cool lady. I'm so glad to have her here with us today. Brothers and sisters, please welcome to the show the one and only SHARON WOZNIAK LENNON.
Hi, John.
What are you doing?
I'm just hanging out in the green room.
Yeah. Do you like our green room's pretty cool. It looks just like your house.
It's swanky.
I love you. I missed you. I respect you. You're so pretty. What else can I say? It's been too long since we've done this.
Yes.
I don't know what else to tell you. You know my rules. I just want you to have fun, so you'll want to come back. You can talk as long as you want to talk about anything you want to talk about. And what do I want to get out of the way first? The last couple of times we spoke, I was having some real severe issues in the house at the time. I still have issues here. Nothing like they used to be back in the day. And I had commented, you have already, at least 2 or 3 times since I've known you, have remote viewed my home.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you had a chance if you just thought about doing that this week. And if you had, is there anything you need to bring to my attention that I'm either doing or not doing,
No. It's I do feel it's not as strong as it was before. I think when the last time I reviewed or viewed your place, it's been stronger. So it's a lot of old energy, but one place in particular in your whole house is so clean and clear and sparkly is the room you're in now. It is like, yeah, it's like, lights, white light, and I just see it's just clean. It's meaning of no spirit or no earthbound spirit energy, because the energy in that room you're in now is, the vibration is so high. And so I just see a bright white light around that room. And I think it's because you light your candles, you say your prayers, you're sending positive energy to everyone that's listening, to the universe, to the world. And I do sit, but I'll get back to other energies. I feel a little bit of energy around your entrance door. And I don't know if you have cats or animals.
Oh gosh, you nailed it right on. You nailed it. God, you are so on fire all the time whenever I talk to you. That's an understatement. We had many years ago when we moved in. I moved in with 3 mastiffs, and they destroyed the home. And then my wife and I both work at an animal hospital. So when the last one had gone on to heaven, we had all these clients constantly coming in trying to give us puppies or give us rescue dogs or whatever. Next thing I know, we weren't planning on it. Next thing I know, we have 3 more mastiffs. I'm down to my very last mastiff. God bless her. She's 13 now, I think, which is very old for a mastiff, hanging in there. Yeah. But one day, my wife and I were out in the yard gardening, and I have a lot of elementals out there. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
picked
I
up
can.
on that energy.
Yeah,
But that the front door is very active. Every once in a while, if I will get what I refer to as paranormal drive-bys here at the house, if I and then that lets me know that there's a bad case coming, and I should get ready, to receive the phone call or the email or whatever that this case is coming. And sometimes that manifests in whenever I reach for the front door. I've been out there for a while and I'm about to come in. I reach for the front door. I will either get bit or scratched on my right hand where I grab the doorknob. And it's something little and not very powerful because the scratches or the bite marks are always tiny.
yeah.
Um, but that's one day we're out there and this little kitten comes walking up our driveway. I mean, she could barely fit in the palm of your hand. This tiny little solid white kitten, eyes like mine, come walking up the driveway. And we had the neighbors next door had a big, huge, old female Russian blue, and their house caught on fire. It didn't burn down to the ground, but after the firemen came and put it out, the house wasn't livable, so they had to move away for a little while they rebuilt the home. And they just left the cat there. They didn't leave any food or water out for it. So that cat came over to our house one day and it was like, "Hey, help me." So we put food and water out there in a little carrier. And when this kitten came up, the Russian blue was very protective over the house, chased this little kitten everywhere to try to get it to leave, and it wouldn't leave. So my wife got another carrier, put it out there, another bowl of food and water, started taking care of it. We had that cat for 10, 11 years, strictly outdoor. She eventually got a brain tumor, and we had to help her on her way to heaven. But 2 weeks before we never saw any other cats around here. One day the Russian blue, we assumed she got sick and went off somewhere to die like cats do.
Yeah.
But the 2 weeks before the white cat crossed over, these four other adult cats show up at the house. And we thought that was so unusual. We said, "Oh, she must have had friends in the neighborhood, and now they're showing up here to help her on her way." And they were always by her side, went with her everywhere. She was like getting neurologic. We just figured, oh, they're her friends showing her, helping her on her way. They never left after she left and went to heaven. They stayed. So Sharon brings home 3 or 4 more carriers, puts them out there, more food, water, dishes. One of the cats disappeared for a while, and about after several weeks, and we were wondering, and I'm rambling on, and it's your show. She we were like, I wonder what happened to that one cat. She just disappeared one night, and we didn't see her. Right after we said that, she shows up the following morning on our doorstep with 10 kittens.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and I'm not even a cat person. I'm a dog person. So here we go again. The front of my house looks like there's cat carriers strategically positioned all over the front yard. We take the door off. We put a cat bed inside. We put a blanket over it, and we put food and water right by each carrier. They all stayed. We had a lady come and trap them all. We got them all spayed and neutered, but they none of them left. So
Oh wow.
I've got like 15 cats living around my yard. They know the area in the backyard not to go where my dog's at.
Yeah.
But here you
It's
nailed it right on the head. I got all these cats out there, and what is that about? What's your feeling on that?
well, cats are very, very psychic, and they said you're animal people. You work at animal hospital. They know they can come to you, especially your vibration's very high. That you're safe. You're in safe haven. And it's funny because I seen multiple cats for some odd reason, and that's why I says I don't know why. I don't know if you have dogs or cats or whatever, but it's like I seen cats, and and they sense the energy. They do. They sense the energy.
It,
So,
it's just it is what it is. But so now I'm a cat. I guess I'm a cat guy now. Still have one dog, but I got all these cats out there, and my wife loves cats. She's um, many years she actually worked with exotics, big lions and tigers and
oh
stuff.
wow.
So she loves cats, and they love her, and she walks around the front yard and up and down the street, and this pride of cats follow her everywhere. I mean, people must think we are like the freaky cat people, but our neighbors love us and they love the cats, and they don't. It's we had our landscaper who's done landscaping in Vegas for 40 years says a lot of people don't know this, but the town in general is infested by rats and mice.
I was going to say, you're not going to have any.
He says, I come to this neighborhood and I don't see any.
No.
So that's good. But
Mhm.
it is what it is. So let me know if you want a cat. I can ship one
No.
to you. I know what I want to ask you, and you're the perfect person to ask. So, how is God and Jesus and Mary and the Holy Family? How's the gang?
They're doing great. They're doing fantastic. You should visit them sometime. No.
I had a couple of people say, "Earth Angel, could you ask?" Here, I'm not even looking at the notes, and I know one of those questions is on there. Can you ask Sharon to explain to me what actually an Earth Angel is? Because you're the first I may have met. I have a theory. I think I have met many Earth Angels, and many of them don't know they are an Earth Angel.
Yeah.
It's very rare that one knows that they are. So, to explain to the few out there listening and watching that part of you.
Okay. What I an earth angel. Well, what I am. There's a different kind. There's incarnate earth angels, and there's just regular earth angels. People that can come and help and raise their vibration and help and do good deeds and stuff like that. I am an incarnate earth angel, meaning my soul is that of an angel, and I came down into a human body. I'm human, like anybody else. I have trials and tribulations, just like anybody else. But I have the soul of an angel, and I come down to help raise the vibration, to help help people be aware of everyone has gifts, and that we are here to help and serve and not only deal with our own lives, which I know everyone has issues and problems, but to help and help others too. So it's there's a two phases with, like I said, with the two different types of earth angels. And you see a lot of angels in something like you do, working in an animal hospital or being a nurse or anything in the medical field. There's a lot. There's some that are just do it for the money, but there's a lot of beautiful earth angels that work in the hospitals that really have a great compassion and help, really want to help people get better.
Absolutely, absolutely. You couldn't have said it any better. Um, Oh, and I almost forgot. Happy Friday the
Oh
13th. You and to everybody out there tuning in, may everyone have a jinx free Friday the 13th.
yeah.
You being such a gifted psychic medium, um, I know that there's different times of the earth cycle and the spiritual cycle where gifts, your gifts change throughout these times. I know sometimes when the veil's really thin, like around Halloween, um, psychics, tell me just crazy stories about that time of year. Talk to me about a day like today, Friday the 13th. Everybody always thinks of witches and bad
Hocus
luck and all
pocus.
this sort of stuff. What is a how does a psychic medium like you feel about a day like today?
I feel like it's a day like any other day. Actually, numbers like the 13th. If you're into numerology like I am, I believe everything has an energy. And 13th is 1 plus 3, and numerology is 4. 4 is to do with angels. So honestly, I don't think bad about anything that has a 13 in it or any. All numbers are representative of an energy. And like 7 is good luck. Everyone, you're in Vegas. Everyone does this. The slot machines that say 777. No, they're supposed to be good luck, and sometimes they are. But 8 has to do with money, and it's one is like a high vibration, which has to do with beginnings and yourself. And so if you look into anything like that, like and Friday's just another day. So actually, like I said, 13 is there's I don't I'm not like the superstitious, like, well, Friday the 13th movie and stuff like that, where I think all that drawn from. But, I don't think anything negative of it. It's just another day. It's Friday with the weekend.
My wife, who's very sensitive, is a lot like you. I mentioned to her, I'm a night owl, so I'm usually up in the morning when she's getting ready for work and having breakfast and stuff. And on her way out, I reminded her, be careful today because it's Friday the 13th. Don't, walk uh, under any
Under
ladders or
no black
be
cats.
careful of. Well, having said that, I said that to her, and she goes, "So what are we supposed to do with ours? We have um, one that's so dark gray that unless it's in the sunlight. Well, they're all females. Unless she's in the sunlight, you can't tell that she's like
Tiger.
uh, gray. But then we have another jet black one who's probably the friendliest one of all of them and hangs out. But she goes, so what am I supposed to do with our black cat if it's out there on the, can I go to work if I open the door and it's out there on the front porch? I'm all okay. Yeah, I forgot we had one. But oh gosh, what do I want to talk to you about? Oh, happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank
How's your
you.
daughter doing?
I have two daughters. They're good. I have two daughters and a granddaughter. My one daughter, lives in Canada now. So with all the COVID, I didn't get to see her for the longest time, but she's going to be coming into town shortly. And then, of course, I live with my youngest, so I see her all the time. So they're doing good.
You're in New York.
Yep.
Talk to me about the whole COVID thing for you. I mean, there's so many people um, that have been greatly affected by that one way or another. I've had a lot of good friends that in my age group that got sick and they're no longer with us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How did all of that, everybody close to you that you love, that loves you, how did you do during that whole time?
Most of us, well, I'm vaccinated, but I still got it anyways. And then my sisters got it. My one sister had a little bit worse than everyone else, and it took her a little while to get over it. But we all made it through, and so thank God, that no bad things end up happening with us. So
I wasn't going to
we're not
ask
out of the
you
woods
this.
yet.
Well, yeah, I know. I wasn't going to ask you this, but I'm feeling I need to ask you. You're the perfect person to ask this. What do you feel is going on? What's your vibration and uh,
As far
the
as the
signals?
world,
Yeah, this I in my 62 years of being on the face of this earth, I can't remember a time remotely even close to being as ugly and as scary as times are right now.
yeah.
What's your feelings?
Well, just like everything else, and through even our lives, we go through these ups and downs. And right now, going to a we're going down as far as the vibration of this earth. Hopefully, but what happens is we go down, but then you always got to think there's always an up. There's always an up. So we look for. I tell everyone look forward to the up because it'll come up. There will be an upswing. Like war will end. This COVID will get to the point where it's not going to affect people as harsh as it has. It's going to be a little bit of maybe just to a cold or stuff like that. And the economy is going to level out. It's going to come up, and it always does. We just got to get through the dirty ditch and come up on the upside.
What advice do you give people? I try to keep it simple with people. I'm not one of those reverends that gets his preach on. You're not going to see me on the corner on a soapbox with a big sign around my neck that says repent now, the end is near. And that can be a turn off to a lot of people. I just try to keep it simple and tell people just make sure you're whoever God is to you, whatever name you attach to him or her, just be good with God, stop the violence, stop the anger, and try individually try to raise your vibration up, and that starts with love and light and the
Hope
thought
and belief.
pattern. And what do you, when people come to you and ask you these questions, knowing that you're gifted and that you're an earth angel, what do you give everybody that's watching some advice on individually what they can do to get through this and spiritually help raise the whole world's vibration.
Yeah. There's always hope. Always hope. Don't give up. Nothing is impossible, first of all. And if you get to the point, it's like, oh my gosh, I got this too. It's hard to pay my bills. You know what? I've been there, done that. And there's just never give up hope. And as you said it before in your prayer, or really let go and let God. And if you know and you trust and you believe in the higher power, trust that he knows, she knows, they know who you are and where you're at. And when you least expect it, like the day before bills due, all of a sudden you get a check in the mail for it's an odd amount. And it's happened to me more times than it hasn't. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to pay my mortgage this month. And all of a sudden I go in the mail. It's like, the day before it's due, and I can go to the bank and cash it and pay it. It's amazing. You just got to keep hoping and don't fret the small stuff. Don't, because God knows where you are. Let go, let God. That's exactly what just like you said in your prayer. It's you just have to have hope. And when you have hope, there's that glimmer of light, and then that's what lets everything in. So always have hope.
Beautifully said. Thank you. We are celebrating an anniversary today. I think it's been 10 years since you were on My Ghost Story.
Yeah.
And not quite 10 years since you were on Haunted Case Files. Maybe a couple of episodes of each show.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
2 episodes.
And they are running reruns all the time on Travel, Discovery Plus, what have you. You can pull them up on on YouTube and stuff. Talk to the few out there that are watching that aren't familiar with either one of those series or the episodes that you're on. Talk a little bit about that experience.
Oh, yeah. Well, we wrote. They were looking for stories of stuff that has happened to us, or in our. I belong to a paranormal group named RIP, Regional Investigators of the Paranormal, and we had some things happen to us, like had some type of demon figure jump in front of us, or me and my other investigators in an old bar we were investigating, and it was caught on video. And so we sent the video, and they brought us to not too far from you, LA, and hooked us up in a hotel, and they recorded our stories. And we had 2 stories, and we had another incident where we caught a spirit's face in a mirror. It was as if the spirit came through the mirror and then came back out. This is just amazing, because you see this white face come through the mirror and then also it drops back. So it came from the backside, from the wall through the front of the mirror and then back. It was just kind of wild. So we caught that on video, which also got us on the other story of My Ghost Story. And then we were on a Case Files twice too. And that was recorded in Canada.
That's how I first came to know of you, and I said, I gotta meet that lady. And the rest is history. I've been bugging you ever since. Well done. I am so happy that your team is still together. Usually it's after a couple of years or longer, 10 years, I'll reach back out to friends and, oh no, I'm still doing it, but my team's no more, or I've got all new members now or whatever. But your team has stayed strong and stayed together, and good for you. Introduce the team to everybody and what each one of them brings to the table.
Well, Fred Truck, he's my we brought the team together ourselves. We ended up meeting each other from a different group we were in together. We just didn't like the way they were doing things. So we said, why don't we start our own group? So Fred Truck, he's a psychic medium himself. He's very good. He connects to the last spirit. Everyone in our group, there's only 4 of us, have abilities. Dawn Lambauser, she's very good. She's very psychic sensitive. She'll pick up on stuff and say, okay, what are you seeing that I'm not? It's weird, because spirits, when we go into these places, they'll either connect with Fred, myself, Dawn, and then there's George. He's like our photographer guy, but he's sensitive too, because all of a sudden he'll sense something, because like, do you guys feel something different here? And we're like, yeah, so he's sensitive too. So we all bring something to the table. And like, if someone doesn't like to interact with me, they'll interact with Dawn or something like that. So we all it'll interact some way with the spirits. And sometimes because there's multiple spirits there, Fred will connect with one person, I'll connect with another person, Don will connect with, so and we all go into these places trying to help the spirits and trying to help the homeowners. I end up helping a lot of the spirits cross over and cleansing the place. And whenever I open the light to cross the spirits over, I always bless the place with a little drop of heaven, because I have to open the portal in heaven. So I always bless the place, and I leave a little drop of heaven in each place that I open the light. So it's, we're a family. We've been together since 2008, and we're so close, and we just get together, we laugh, we have a good time. We're like brother and sister.
And I can see that, and that comes across. I'm so happy for you guys. You guys work well together, and I know exactly what I want to ask you next. And then I have to get to some of these questions from some of your fans and followers. Psychics on teams. Most back in the day, most of these pioneer leading paranormal investigators of the time all worked with a good psychic medium on their team. Sometimes it was just the investigator, his equipment, and his psychic. And then after a number of years, we went through the spiritualist movement and all of that. And then after a number of years, there was a long span of time where teams didn't want to have a psychic on their team or work with a psychic. And I still know of some teams that, they don't talk bad about psychics. They just
Right.
do not want one on the team. They don't care to have one. They don't have any interest in having one. I am on the other side of the fence with that. I believe people and like everything, there are people out there that claim to be something they're not. But truly gifted psychic mediums like everybody on your team, I believe that is a gift from God that's truly invaluable to a team if you have somebody gifted on the team. And here, your team, there's 4 of you. Address that. Your opinion on why some teams feel that way, and why it shouldn't be that way, and what psychics bring to the table as far as paranormal and investigative teams go.
Well, spirits are like, I'm sorry, but spirits know when you can connect with them, and then they want to connect with you because they want to tell their story. And so if you bring a psychic medium into a place, more often than not, the spirit knows that that person can hear them, sense them, see them, whatever, and they will interact with you more. What I think with some of these people, they don't believe in psychics, and they don't believe that people could connect with the spirits. And so they how can we prove it? And that's why when we do their investigations, I mean, I will connect with the spirit, and I see, the little boy that got killed riding his skateboard into the traffic, and I see the little boy, I see the skateboard, and I see it, but then what I use divining rods, and then I'm like, okay, I see a little boy. Is there a little boy here? And they cross yes. And so this way I have no way of moving these rods because they're on a little, it's like there's a straw with a stick. So I can't, so they're moving on their own. So it proves to other people that I'm not just making this up. And then all of a sudden it's like, could you make the flashlight light up or whatever? And they do, and it's like, and it's, we just do it that way. And I even use the rods, and I don't have to, but I'd like to show people. I say, when I cross spirits over, I'll use the rods, and I'll say, okay, when you see the light, I know now I can feel that the light's open. I can feel the portal. It's like a really intense energy that I feel. I says, when you see the light, but I want to know that the spirit sees the light. So I go, when you see the light, cross these rods, and I'll just hold the rods still. And I said, when you see the light, cross the rods, then cross into heaven. And I'll sit there and I'll wait and wait and wait, and then all of a sudden they'll cross, and then all of a sudden you'll feel it. Even people said it feels lighter. The energy feels just like it's cleansed, and you can feel the spirit has gone on. So I because of that proving it's hard to prove what we see and feel. But with the rods, like I said, they move on their own, and I'm not moving them. And that's how I kind of connect with the people that don't necessarily, believe that maybe that I'm a medium, or if I connect with spirits. This way they see it like, wow, these rods are moving on their own, and she's just asking them, and where is she coming up with this stuff? So,
I look at it this way. Um, there's people out there that claim their way of investigating is the way it should be done. It's their way or it's the highway, and they're gonna be able to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is life after death and ghosts exist and spirits exist and all that. I believe that we will never definitively be able to prove that. I'm not going to be able to get a ghost to come and sit here and let me interview them on the show.
right.
And I think that's what I love so much about the field, and what makes me so passionate about it is it's investigating the unknown, dealing with the unknown. And I've also always been the kind of person that never felt I had to, prove myself to anybody. I
Hmm.
know what I saw, I know what I felt, I know what I experienced. If you I didn't, and I don't blame people if they don't believe me, and I don't blame
Right.
people that think I'm crazy. That's
Right.
okay. It is what
Yeah.
it is.
Right.
Um, but results, you help a lot of people. That's where I distinguish the difference between the two. Very few really gifted psychic mediums you will catch just going to one event after another, just to go out and ghost hunt, just to ghost hunt.
Yeah.
You usually find them doing what you and your team do, help people. And that's when you get results like that, you're bringing closure to cases, you're crossing spirits over, you're helping these families who not everybody's like you and I. We sometimes take it for granted and think everybody sees and feels ghosts and deals with them and it's no big deal.
Right.
It's not. When people call you for help, they're like hanging on the edge by their fingernails emotionally and spiritually and whatever else, and their life is turned upside down. They need help.
Yeah.
When you turn that whole thing around, that's where the reward comes in, and where having gifted psychic mediums on your team really comes in handy. So I tell teams all the time that come to me, most of my clients, funny enough, right now, are these new ghost busting teams coming up that, and it goes in cycles.
Hmm.
They watch a show, they're like, that looks cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if they think they're going to be on a show or if they just don't care, but they still think it looks cool. And, you know, I don't need to be trained. I'll just,
Oh.
grab a camera and go to a spooky place and I'll call out to the ghosts and take some photos and have fun. And that's cool too.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of these people going to the wrong place, saying and doing the wrong thing, and they end up with these
Yes.
attachments, and now
Yeah.
they're
They're
calling
calling you.
me. And then I find out lots of them don't have a psychic. You didn't have a psychic medium on your team to warn you, guys, when you went into this place, what not to say and what not to do. No, we don't have. I don't know a psychic, or no, we don't have want to work with one. So I always advise them, if you're starting a team, try to find a really good gifted psychic medium that you trust and believe in, and see if they'll be willing to be a part of your team. Um, and then I leave it up to if I even bring people together and introduce them, I let the psychic decide if they think these people are approaching this with love and light and have good intentions, or if it's not for them. And sometimes I make a match, sometimes I don't. But yeah, I am proud of you guys. I think your team is great. Let's talk about the new TV show. I know it's local there to New York, but I want to watch I want to watch it, and I don't know how to do it from Vegas. I don't know if it'll, reruns will be on YouTube or another type of streaming thing, or talk to everybody about the new show and how we can, if we're not there in New York, how we can see it.
Yeah, well, we're going to be, we're local to, I think, Western New York, our television show, and it's called Paranormal Experiences with RIP. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm producing these shows myself. I'm going to be putting them onto my YouTube channel. So if you connect with our YouTube channel, which is RIP Ghosts, if you search that, channel name, RIP, and then Ghosts afterwards. You'll be able to watch those shows because I'm going to be putting them up on the channel after they air on that channel. I think they will also have it on the television station's website also, and which I can put that on if you our Facebook page, which is RIP Regional Investigators of the Paranormal. So if you like that page, you'll keep updated on the shows because I will link it onto that Facebook page too. So you'll either see it on our YouTube channel or our Facebook page.
Very, very cool. I saw the trailer that you put together for it. I'm like, is that it? Is that it? I'm like, I'm just long enough for me to like start really getting into it, and then it's over.
It's over. It's only 1 minute. I know.
It's a good tease. I'm excited for you guys. You guys look good, and I just know it's going to be very successful there. And it's all about, if you're really passionate about something, you just continue to work at it and you don't worry about anything else. You just, continue to do what you do and work and work and work. And eventually, things happen. And I believe, I feel truly in my heart and soul that it'll branch out from just being local New York television station there for you guys into other stuff. Before I move on off of what I want to ask you and some of your fan questions, you guys have been together a long time. I've got to ask this because, like I said, so many people, I talked to them one day, they got a team. The next day, they're by themselves. They fight amongst themselves. They got new members. You guys have been so successful for a long time. Talk to all the new ghost hunting teams forming about some big Sharon Lennon do's and some big Sharon Lennon don'ts as far as having them putting together a successful team and staying successful.
Well, you have to have the same outlook on going into an investigation. Me and Fred, we are being mediums too. That's part of our nature. Like I said, Fred and George are my big brother. Dawn's my sister. But we started off as just friends, but you have to have the same idea. We go into something thinking we want to help the homeowner or this building owner or the business owner, and we want to help the spirits. So we're not just going in there guns ablaze and saying, hey, show me some, knock this over or make the noise, or we're not taunting. We respect the place because we're going to leave, and what happens is the owner or the house is going to come in and they're going to say, we rile them all up, and then they're like, what happened here? Now the energy's all crazy. When we leave, the energy, they feel like, wow, it's nice and quiet, it's peaceful. It's because we don't come in there. I mean, you have to have the same ideas as far as how your group's going to run, and having a psychic medium or someone that's sensitive in your group is nice because they will be able to sense if there's a negative spirit, because sometimes you don't know if there's a negative. They're just walking and thinking, oh, they're just grandma and grandpa that just didn't cross over. Versus they're going to talk to them. They're going to be mildly, not, harmful until they walk in and all of a sudden someone walks away with scratches or an attachment, and then like you said, then they're looking for you. But that's because of these energies. Everything's energy, so these people that are psychic or sensitive walking in, they can say, hey, this feels really dark, this feels really heavy here, let's be careful, let's say a quick prayer, or say something of protection, so that we don't hurt ourselves or bring home something to our family. And that's ideal. I mean, like I said, when me and Fred put this group together, we had the same idea that we were going to help people. We were going to, see what happens with a lot of people too. Groups will come and say, oh, I want to investigate. But then they say, okay, we're going to help these people, and they're going to show evidence to them. And then what happened is, some of these groups won't get back to the owner, and the owner's like, we let them into our house and we never heard from them again. And because they all just wanted to get the thrill of, can we make a knock, or, and never really following it through. So we said we're going to follow through. We're going to bring every place we go to, we're going to show a disc or bring a tape of what we received and what we got as far as our abilities and or any evidence we received. But before the end of the night, like I said, we're telling them who we talked to. We're bringing names. We're also, like I said, if the spirits want to cross over, I'm crossing them over. So we walk out with a clean slate, and people usually are more than happy that once we leave.
Crossing spirits over. I don't know if the way I approach that is good or bad, but usually when I, come in contact with a spirit, I at least give them my opinion that they don't belong here. They should look
Oh
for a
yeah.
light or look for their guardian angels and cross over. They would be much, much happier in heaven. But I let them make that decision. But I will outwardly, out loud, pray in front of the spirit for all of their past relatives that have crossed over to come and help, for their
Mhm.
guardian angels to come and help, other angels to come and help. Um, but sometimes the spirit, for whatever reason, still doesn't want to cross over.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? Do you let them pretty much still decide ultimately at the end if they're ready to cross or not, or do you have ways of you know what's best for them and you have ways of pushing them towards that light and over to
Yeah.
the other side?
I do the same as you. I mean, I will try to persuade. Well, God gave us all free will. That's at the end. At the end of the day, God gave us all free will, and the spirits have free will. I will ask. I says, "Do you want to cross into the light? Why cross to heaven? I can help you now." Why? Yeah, and I try to, and I like to persuade them because it's like you can be healed. You can see your family. It's like paradise. There's no. A lot of people are spirits are afraid of retribution, meaning they're going to be judged. If I didn't live such a clean life, or maybe I have some skeletons in my closet, and I said, God is non-judgmental. You're going to be healed. I mean, you can go back and forth. You can come back. One thing about going to heaven, they can come back. They can come back to earth and visit their family that's left over or whatever. But once you're stuck, you're stuck. So I more often than not I can convince them, persuade them to crossing over. But then there's a few that just don't want to leave, and in would it either I say, well, if you don't want to leave, you can't stay here. You're going to have to find someplace else because either the homeowner doesn't want him, or I don't want him here because I get spirits that'll follow me home from Walmart, the grocery store. um,
What do you do about when you guys do stumble and it happens to everybody? What do you guys do when you stumble upon that really angry spirit or really malevolent entity, or God forbid, a demonic entity at these locations?
we've only had an incident where we ended up with something that wasn't so nice. Um, and it was funny because it wasn't that it hurt us because it didn't, but it showed itself on some of the our videos, and it was a demon. It showed its horns. And watch our YouTube channel, check it out because there's a video of it on. And it happened in a barn and happened in front of me. And but being an angel and everything, I have a legion around me, which is because in my past I've almost died 3 or 4 times. So I know I have these great angels, and they're there to protect me. So I know I'm protected, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to try to do something. So, but then again, it's like, so what happened is, we came across it, and the next time we came back, I could tell it was a transient spirit, so it wasn't connected to the place. So thank God. So because when we came back, we did end up dealing or finding this entity again. But so we do end up with a few angry spirits, but they're not demons or malevolent. They're just angry. And we've had, poor Fred was kind of tripped down the stairs a little bit, didn't get hurt, but he, and we had something like a door shut on us, not hurt us, but in front of us. But they just didn't want to be bothered. They were just cranky, So we just deal with it like anything else. They're cranky, so we're not gonna like push their buttons. We're just gonna try to talk to them, see if we can help them.
And the darker ones, you guys, whatever, however you feel you need to approach that situation and deal with it, you try, or do you reach out to other people that do that more?
Yeah, we like I said, we haven't had anything that wasn't something we couldn't handle. So that was good.
Very good.
But I think I've reached out to you because I've known some people, and you gave me some tips and pointers about because someone that was out of state came to me and asked me what to do, and I reached out to you as far as we think that they had an attachment, and so I have helped people with attachments, but I think you have more experience in that area.
Oh my gosh, it's a crazy thing we do.
Yeah, yeah.
And when if there is anything malevolent or God forbid demonic at any of these locations, they see you coming.
And yeah, they go the
They
other way.
see you coming. It's like provocation. I never believed or supported religious provocation or even um, ghost busting provocation. And when I go to locations, I already know that if there's the demonic or something malevolent is there, just my presence is um, provocation enough. You don't have to poke the bear.
Yeah.
But yeah,
My
with
angel
you
just
and
said
your
yes.
angels.
I can hear my angels. There's one thing I forgot. Yeah, I can hear, and they just agreed exactly with what you just said.
Do you if you run into other earth angels that aren't sure, don't have a clue that they are an earth angel, are you able to recognize that, and do you tell them, or do you just kind of keep it to yourself?
No, I've told a few people. I can't help it. I says, "Do you know that you?" I says, my one good friend, yeah, he's an angel, and we do investigations together. He's not on the group, but we do investigations together. And I says, "Hey, buddy," I go, "Did you ever notice something about yourself?" And I kind of brought up to him, and he's like, "That makes sense," and he really connected with it. And he follows Archangel Michael a lot now, and which is a wonderful thing. So yeah, I do tell him.
Oh my gosh. Uh, Under 10 minutes left. Oh my gosh, where'd the time go? Let me get to a couple of your fan questions here. Um, and see, I just naturally covered a bunch of them. I'm just going to make sure everybody knows again. RIP Ghosts is the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Got a great Facebook page. RI Paranormal 1 is how you log onto that page, but it is Regional Investigators of the Paranormal. RIP Regional Investigators of the Paranormal. It's your Facebook page. Um, what am I missing here? Website www.riphaunted one word .wix wix.com/RIP1 is your website.
Yes.
And I even have a favorite quote of yours that I wrote down because I saw it when I was stalking you this past week. It says, "Live your life as if there was no tomorrow." Are you doing that?
Yes. Yes.
It says, "Love with all your heart." Are you doing that?
I always do.
And it says, "Laugh often." Did I make you laugh enough today? I don't think I did.
Yes. Yes. Of course. You always make me laugh. How did
Oh
you
my
not?
gosh, what else do I want to ask you here? Somebody wants to know. I'll get one question in and then I'll let everybody know now. I apologize again. I never get to all the questions that you guys send in for my guests. Sharon
Yeah.
already told me in the green room before the show, reach out to her afterwards and ask her yourself. She's
Yes.
approachable and easy to get.
Come on. What?
Somebody saw the picture that I posted of you and the horse, and they know that you're gifted. How is your animal communication skills? Do all psychics have that ability? Some more than others, some just
Yeah.
communicate with spirits, or how does that whole thing work?
Yeah, I do. I do connect with spirits or animals also. Some are better at it. Some are just animal whisperers. They can really just connect and hone in with the animals, and that's all they do. I do, but I ride horses, and not that I own them, but the little guy in your picture, his name is Cole. He's my heart horse. Um, he I connect with him a lot. I connect with a lot of the animals that are, or the horses in the barn that I ride it, and I could tell you reasons why they're like in fear of the one area in the barn, or why they're acting the way they do. Um, and I could, and I've gone to the owners and I go, this, he's a little afraid because he something with around his ear, and they go, oh yeah, he got hit in the head right there, and it's like, I go, that's why he's shy. He's very shy about his ear. And then they connect, and they go, oh yeah, you're right. I connect with, yeah, you're right with it. So yeah, I do connect with the animals too. But like I said, some people are um, this, like I said, that's just part of some of the things I do. Some people are just animal whisperers, and they are just home right in and on these animals, and they are really gifted.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I remember many years ago I was at the Highland Games here locally, and I went and I was all brave hearted out, my family card and my kilt, and I'm walking around, and some lady I didn't even know walked up to me. She didn't know me, and she goes, "I don't know you, and I don't. You're probably gonna think I'm crazy. I don't know if you believe in this sort of stuff, but I'm a psychic medium, and I never let on." She goes, I've never seen this before. You're walking around with the hugest group of spirit animals behind you that I've ever seen following one person, because all my life I can't ever remember not having a dog.
Wow.
And so I loved that. And then it reminded
Mhm.
me of an old saying, and I think it might be somebody else, but I think it's Will Rogers. It might be another famous author. And he wrote, "If there are no dogs in heaven, I want to go where they're at." Um, am I going to when I'm in heaven, am I going to have all my animals with me?
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. They're going to be there at the gates waiting for you. There's no doubt. I mean, I know that
So I'm
they're.
still going to be cleaning up after him in the
Oh,
afterlife.
no, they won't be pooping up there. There's no food. Unfortunately, we don't have
Oh.
the internal organs as we did when we were physical. But yeah, but they're going to be. They're waiting desperately with bated breath, waiting for you to come in through that door or the gate.
Well, listen, you know I love you. You know I respect you. I'm going to have you back in the fall after you and your team put a full summer in of investigating under your belts, and some more episodes of the TV show, because I want to watch some of them and put your feet to the fire on a few things when we get back together. But did you have fun when you come back?
Yes, of course.
God bless you. You've never you I told you many years ago you were on the prayer list. You never left the prayer list. I pray for you often. Thank you so much for spending an hour out of your busy Friday with me and the rest of the Paranormal Ministry family. Have a wonderful remainder to your Friday the 13th, and until we speak again, have a great blessed life until I talk to you again, okay?
You too.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye
Good night.
bye.
Bye-bye. An earth angel. Anything you want to know about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. And if you go there, remember we don't charge for our ministry work, helping people with their issues. So if you see the donate button and you're able to do so, click on it and send in a small donation. What will you find there at the website if you visit? You'll find my new haunted autobiography, God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry. You can get it on the website autographed in a house blessing kit. You can get it a little less expensive at Amazon. You'll find my course, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare, that I offer through the Worldwide Society of Exorcists. You can sign up for the course there or call me and ask me about the course before you make that type of commitment. What else do I want to say to you guys? Other than I love you all, I don't have a show without all of you guys. So thank you so much, and may you all have a very safe and jinx-free remainder to your Friday the 13th. I want to thank my co-producers, Zach Clayton and Adrian Hart, and a belated happy birthday to the ghost granny, who was, I won't mention how old she is now, and she's very sensitive about that because she's getting old. And her birthday was Wednesday, so happy belated birthday to the ghost granny. Thank you to Things Network. Thank you to Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. Thank you to Skeleton Key Network. Thank you to Pact Podcast All Coming Together channel, all for simulcasting my show. I will be here next week with another brand new live show, Friday, May 20th. Uh-oh. Are you guys ready for this? It's another episode. It's been a while. Return of Mod Squad episode. World class ranters. And I've heard a rumor they're going to come with their A game and give their updated State of the Paranormal Union address and rant about stuff. And the three OGs will be here: the Ghost Cougar PI, Mav Rick, not James Garner's son, and Reverend Pillsbury. The three of them will be here for Return of Mod Squad next Friday. I love you all. Stop the violence, stop the anger. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Danny. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. God bless you all. I love you all. Peace.